y'all, it's Tam. Welcome back to my channel. Today, as you can see from the title of this video, I'll be doing my setup for the month of May in my reading journal. And so I'm just starting off the video with showing you the things that I'm going to be using to do this month's setup. So it's pretty simple. I tried not to make it overly complicated because I haven't read since early February, I think. That's around the time I started setting up my craft space, and so everything else just kind of fell behind. I think I was on my second book at the time, and I didn't get any further than that. So I only read 2 books for the month of February, and I didn't read at all for the month of March and April. And when I say I didn't read at all, I mean I didn't read for pleasure. So I didn't read any books for, just solely entertainment purposes. And so I'm trying to get reacquainted with reading. I love to read. I just have to intentionally make time for it. And so it was going good for January. I knocked it out of the park. And then February, I got sidetracked. And then I was already in March. And now we're at the end of April. So I'm setting up my journal now before we get into the month of May so that I can have it already ready and I can just dive in. So most of the books I have found I am reading from my already enormous book stash. I have books, shelves and shelves of books that I see, that I like, that I hoard, that I never read. So I have been reading some of those. Well, I did read some of those for the month of January. And the rest of them I just read from my Kindle. So Kindle is convenient. So whereas I can, not have to worry about a book turning pages or a bookmark and all that kind of stuff. The Kindle I purely, enjoy for the purpose of it just being convenient. And so I'm sharing my love of just a traditional book with my Kindle so that, it won't deter me from reading just because I don't have a traditional book. So it's a love-hate relationship so far, but I do find it convenient, and I'm thinking about signing up for an Audible account. So if any of you guys out there listen to books on Audible, please leave a comment down below and let me know how you are liking that, because I'm just curious. I know they usually offer like a 30-day trial for you to try it out, and then you go from there to pay like a monthly subscription subscription fee. I'm sorry, I can't talk. You go from there to pay a monthly subscription fee like you do for Netflix and Hulu and things like that. So I'm just considering it. I don't know if I'm actually going to do that or not, but in the meantime, in between time, the only 2 things that I am doing for my reading is just a regular old traditional book in the hand, turning pages with a bookmark, and my Kindle. So what you see on screen right now in terms of me setting up this month's setup is I took some of Tim Holtz's collage paper. And it's like tissue paper that you use. It has the texture of the paper that you stuff a gift bag with, that you're, giving away a gift in. And so it's really thin, lightweight, doesn't have any weight to it. And so I'm just using my regular glue stick to adhere it down to the pages. And on top of that decorative tissue paper or collage paper, I'm going to put, just some elements that I printed onto some craft sticker paper. So it helps me to already know what my setups are going to be every month. So I have a format where certain headers that I print out, information that I want to keep track of as I read. So I just stamped all of that out onto some brown craft sticker paper. And that's what I'm going to use to put everything down, all of my titles and everything down. So that's what you see I'm doing right now. I'm just adhering that collage paper, tissue paper down to the page. And I pulled some washi strips that I have also been hoarding for a while. and they do not stick well onto this coffee dyed paper, which is, the pages of my reading journal is a handmade journal that I filled with coffee dyed paper. So that washi those washi strips did not adhere to that paper well or at all. And so I'm just using my Fabri-Tac glue to adhere that washi to the page. And so just to bring just another element onto the page, because usually I'm not doing a whole lot of writing. I'm just doing statistics, or not my statistics, or my tracking. Yeah, I'm doing my tracking in my reading journal. So it's not for me to do any overly complicated writing. I usually just write whatever book I'm reading, how many pages it was, what genre it was, and how long did it take me to read it. So that's pretty much what my reading journal encompasses. And I have other layouts within the journal itself. If you saw me show you the flip through, I did a flip through of this journal before I started tracking my stuff in it. So if you're interested in that, I will link that video down below for anybody who wants to go back and see that. But nevertheless, what I did was I just adhered all of my titles. I only try to use 4 pages a month. That way I won't run out of space before the end of the year, because I want to try to keep an entire year's tracking in one journal. I don't want to have to, create a whole nother journal to do like the second half of the year or anything like that. So in order to make sure I don't run out of pages, I just use 3 pages a month. So the title page, which is basically the month and the calendar, and then my reading list pages, which is 2 pages, and I just stamp out a little reading, what do you call it? It's like a reading, what do you call it? I can't think of the word I want to use. A review. Where I stamp out a little stamp that I purchased, and it has all of the information for me to do the review of whatever book that I'm reading. So I only stamped out 4 for the month of May to kind of, get myself back in the habit of reading. And if I read more than 4 books, I'll just do like a tip in here, like I did 1 month before. I think it was for January, because I read somewhere around 7 books, I think, for the month of January. My goal is to read 5 a month, but I'm behind, like I stated before, because I haven't read, I didn't meet the goal for the month of February, and I didn't read for March or April. So I'm still hoping to achieve my goal of 60 books for the year. And I think I can do that if I just get back on track and don't, fall back off for whatever reason anymore this year. So I'm just cutting everything out, and again, I printed it on craft sticker paper. And so you saw me come back. I cut everything out by hand, and then I just distressed it with my archival ink, my brown archival ink. So I'm just going to start adhering everything down to the page. And I love sticker paper for this very reason. You don't have to use glue or any other adhesive. You just, peel and lay it down. Easy peasy. Love it, love it, love it. So that's what you see I'm doing now. And so in addition to the titles for my pages, I also stamped out like some little botanical images, as well as some birds. I think I have a bumblebee. What else? That may be it. Let me see. Yeah, I have some botanical images mostly, and I have a couple of birds and a couple of bees. So I thought that went well with this like vintage like theme. The tissue paper reminds me of like that vintage type feel. Most of Tim Holtz stuff reminds me of vintage era. And so I distressed my titles that I'm putting down, distressed my images that I'm putting down, and that kind of wraps everything else, else into the tissue paper, and it kind of gives you that distressed vintage feel. And so I love that. And I thought everything came together quite nicely. I was pleased with the fact that it I'm not going to say it didn't take me a long time. The longest amount of time was cutting everything out and distressing it, but outside of that, everything else was pretty easy and uncomplicated. So you see me putting everything down. I'm not going to fuss too much. Just, try to get everything down on the page as best as I can to my liking, where it's not going to bother me. That's the objective, to put things down so that I'm not bothered as I go through the reading journal to track whatever my progress is. And so, and that's pretty much it, guys. The video is, nearing the end. I'll say my outro and let you guys watch the rest of it, because it's pretty simple. It's really nothing, that I have to walk you guys through. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so that you can know when I upload new videos. For those who may not know, I have a second channel. It's a Bible journaling channel where I journal in my Bible, journal in anything about my faith over there. That's linked down below. And right now I'm in a series of 100 Days of Prayer by Shauna Noel. I'm actually doing that devotional along with another. So that's the one I'm uploading right now. So you may see some other stuff in between that also. But that link is down below to my other channel, as well as my Instagram page, my email address, my P.O. box, and all that other stuff is down there as well. So please feel free to check out the description box. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being a part of my YouTube family. It is always a pleasure. And I will look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Bye.